Wonderful. Hello, Jessica and Bob. It's nice to meet you over Zoom. I'm coming to you from my college-age son's bedroom, which is why there's a lot of books in the background. So congratulations to both of you. You both got mentioned in Chloe's acceptance speech at the Golden Globes. And, Jessica, when you started the process of writing your book, did you ever imagine it would get turned into a feature film?
Oh, hell no. It started as a magazine story, which I felt was lucky to place, and then evolved into a book. And somebody asked me, when I was writing the book, did I imagine somebody as the leading lady? And I was thinking, no, I was trying to write the book. That was hard enough. So this has all been a surprise, but a really good one.
Yeah, I've been a fan of your work. I lived in New York for many years, and your Burning Man book, and just sort of the way you capture subcultures. And I think we all, just as human beings, have a fascination with subcultures. And I know that this one just has seemed so fascinating to me because I know a woman who left her husband to live in a Jeep and just go. I mean, this is what, instead of them having to get a divorce and get two houses, and she just said, no, I'm going to just live on the road on my Jeep, in my Jeep. And I was like, do people really do this? And seeing your book and the film, and then Bob's work, it's really clear, yes, people do this, and they can have fulfilling lives while doing it. Bob, the it's amazing to me that you're not an actor, because your work in the film, even though I know it was probably improvised, is so beautiful. And how much of what you said was you, Bob, and how much of it was scripted or a film version of Bob?
I think most all of what was made into the film was just me. She tried to get me to act, and I'm not a good actor, I'm afraid to say. So I think it's mostly just the stuff that was actually me. I think that was about all she could use, but yeah, it's mostly me.
And how did you both get involved with the film? I mean, obviously your work got optioned, but that doesn't mean that usually authors necessarily get involved with the final product. So how did you get, each of you get involved with Francis and Chloe and the film production itself?
Okay, well, my role was earlier on, so I guess I'll start. But when the option turned into the project, I really just raided my reporting pantry and tried to give Chloe and the team everything that I could, from old pictures. They recreated some stuff that I'd seen in 2014, just on the nose, to audio recording, to just my sock drawer. I basically turned it out and I introduced them to people. And yeah, so that was a lot of my job. I was kind of a fixer. And Bob?
Uh, the word got out in the Nomad community that the film was being made. Chloe started going around and meeting people where they lived, and word got back. And then she eventually contacted me, and I said, sure, I'd love to help in any way I can. And really, there's just not much of a story to it.
What are the various reasons that you have found throughout your years of being a nomad, and you, Jessica, in researching this lifestyle, that people are compelled to sort of start living on the road?
Who was that for?
For either of you, really. Like, I know that obviously the movie itself features, grief and loss as a major theme, but I imagine that people have a variety of reasons. And I was just wondering if, what are some of the more compelling ones that you have heard about by being part of the community?
Well, I'll jump in. I've known, and grief and loss is large. Poverty is large, but man, I've heard all kinds of people. You mentioned earlier your friend who I've known a lot of happily married women who just needed to travel and needed to get out of the house, and so they jump in their van and they'll spend 2 or 3 months in the winter in the desert. I've known many women in exactly that situation, and less men, but some. I know a guy who uh, I know several guys that got rich coding in Silicon Valley. I know a guy specifically who now lives in a minivan and travels around, $1 million in the bank, lives in his minivan. I know another guy who lives in a Subaru Forester. I don't know how much money he's got in the bank. He's got a lot. This is the life he chose. So the age, it's a broad age spectrum. It's a broad background spectrum.
And I'm getting a wrap up, please, notification. So I guess my last question to you is, what do you hope viewers will take away from seeing the film?
I hope that people feel connected. That's one of the best responses I got to the book, was that people were saying, I walked past somebody who was clearly living in a van, and instead of just jumping to weird, unfounded conclusions, I thought to myself, that's somebody who has a story. And that sort of curiosity about our fellow humans and that kind of compassion, that's just something that I think we could use a lot more of in the world. And I hope the movie will inspire it.
And for me, I hope people realize they have an option. Jessica talks a lot about subcultures, that subcultures are real and they do offer a valid choice.
Thank you both so much for your time. I appreciate it.